Energy leaks, a new age term, perhaps, but nonetheless it captures the essence of what many modern day professionals are experiencing really well. Yes, your energy is most likely leaking, and as a consequence you feel less alive and less present. Framed differently, your vitality is compromised. In my previous video I talked about the three main hindrances to vitality. Energy leakage is directly related to the prevalence of those three hindrances. In this short video I want to elaborate on what I consider to be the main energy drainers that you must start paying attention to, and of course begin resolving, at least if your aspiration is to reclaim vitality and a zest for life. But how can you recognize energy leaks, or in other words, how does it surface? It does so by chronic fatigue, lethargy, an overall empty feeling and a general absence of aliveness, but also paradoxically as anxiety and both mental as well as physical restlessness. Now these symptoms may be confusing for some, and especially if you're self-aware and cautious with your health. So even if you have positive energy flowing in as a consequence of the practices that you are engaging in, energy will continue to leak and vitality will be compromised if you don't address and heal these energy leaks structurally. But first, why should you care about healing energy leaks? Concretely, when you heal energy leaks, your life will transform. Because more energy allows you to stay true to your intentions and take actions that are in line with these intentions. More energy allows you to create rather than consume. More energy allows you to discover hidden passions that allow for authentic expression. More energy allows you to be more present, less impulsive, and will improve your relationships with yourself and others. More energy equals vitality equals aliveness. Now where is it leaking? Once you gain insights in the nature of energy leaks, you can begin to heal them. If you manage to heal most of them, you will begin to notice a very powerful shift. The very same practices you've been doing all along now seem to induce much more presence, energy, and ongoing aliveness. The truth is, however, they are not generating more life force, you are just not leaking it away. Next, I'm going to share some of the most common and significant energy leaks based on my personal experience with energy leaks, scientific research, and from working with many professionals over the past decade. Overdoing and multitasking. This is by far the most prevalent energy leak the majority of modern day humans is facing. This addiction to doing is grounded in the early conditioned belief that worth and value is derived from doing. The result? Ongoing and often compulsive doing, which leaves little time for authentic decompression, play, and essential social connections. These activities are fundamental to induce vitality, and without it, energy generated through practice and nourishment will just drain away. Question the belief that you can't afford to step back frequently. The truth is, you truly can't afford not to. In Yogi Harish Wallace's words, in order to be healthy and sane, one needs to have at least 4 hours off a day, at least 1 full day off a week, at least 1 full weekend off a month, and at least 3 full weeks off a year. When I say off, I don't just mean not being in the office. I mean not checking emails, not thinking about to-do lists, not accomplishing anything. Just being present with yourself, your body, and surroundings. Do you meet those recommendations? Most people don't. Perhaps you think, but don't we have to engage in actions? That's correct, we do. Actions are required in phenomenal reality, and without actions, nothing in this world, nor you or I, would be here. But compulsive actions rooted in different levels of ignorance don't truly serve us. At least if real growth, fulfillment, and non-transient joy is the goal. In other words, compulsive actions, both physical and mental ones, are the major source of energy depletion. And what about multitasking to make everything more efficient? There's quite some research now that underlies that multitasking, and especially switching back and forth between technology, is draining our energetic resources significantly, and thus the ability to stay present much more in comparison to sticking to one task at a time. Okay, let's continue. Slouching and poor posture. Poor posture causes fatigue by making inefficient use of the body's structure and putting extra demands on it. The muscles tire more quickly because they have to work harder, which results in greater energy consumption. Besides, a slouched posture is associated with overbreathing, which can be considered as a source of energy leakage itself. Overbreathing simply means breathing too often and too shallow through your mouth. This causes you to expel too much CO2, which results in oxidative stress and reduces actual cellular oxygenation. It also locks you in a chronic state of sympathetic nervous system dominance, and this combination leads to fatigue, lethargy, brain fog, chronic stress, and impulsivity. Besides, I consider talking and gossiping as well to be a significant energy leak, which somewhat ironically also makes you to expel too much CO2. Okay, next one. Lack of diverse physical movement, which is needed to burn physical karma or physical action that the body truly needs. Without it, you are likely to be unable to sit still, to focus, and be joyful. A lack of diverse physical movement is strongly correlated with more anxiety, mental or physical restlessness, and sleep disorders, which then perpetuate this cycle. All this depletes you of your energetic resources. Therefore, I frequently say, give the body what it needs or it will demand it the hard way. Physical movement gives your body-mind more energy, partially through the process of mitochondrial biogenesis, which is the production of more small energy factories in your cells. This is especially the case when engaging in physical movement on an empty stomach. So spend energy in order to get more of it back. This is the paradox. Physical movement is an endeavor with a strong and high return on investment. Are you still with me? Next one. Processed foods and/or eating too much and too frequently. Eating too much processed foods or snacking multiple times per day might be the norm these days. The consequence of this can thus also be considered the norm, metabolic disease. Without diving too deep in the topic of nutrition and gross nourishment in this video, understand that digesting food for 16 hours per day is extremely energy consuming. The same applies to constantly thinking about food. Besides, eating too much processed, sugary foods will literally drain you of your dopamine and thus your drive. Fatigue and lethargy are the direct karmic consequences. The previous three areas of energy leakage relate and result sooner or later into disease and sickness in the body. Disease draws all our attention. With disease present in your body and mind, it will be extremely hard to go beyond it and perceive yourself as the alert, unconditional presence that you essentially are. And then there's a whole set of other energy leaks which can accumulate and reduce the amount of available life force even more. These are beyond the scope of this video, but think of excess emotional reactivity, ongoing thinking and past or future fantasies which can result in losing contact with presence, lack of bare skin contact with the natural environment, lack of sunlight, usage of too much chemical cosmetics, not walking your own path or climbing your own mountain but someone else's, and interacting frequently and excessively with unlike-minded individuals. This was all for today. I hope you found some value in this video. Thank yourself for watching and until next time.